Today I am going to talk about socks. Yes, socks. This is Sandi Maki, and you are listening to Heavy Breathing Just Before Midnight. I don't know if anybody else has the same fixation as I do on socks. I absolutely love a new pair of socks. I am somewhat picky about the socks that I like. I definitely want it to be a pair that is cottony soft, normally athletic socks. Sometimes you can get a little creative and go for the really fuzzy socks. What I found is when you get the really fuzzy socks, sometimes they're really slippery and they don't really work. So, remember that song, If I Had $1,000,000? Well, if I had $1,000,000, I would buy socks by the truckload so that I could put on a new pair just about every day. And then, of course, I would have to find a nice charity to donate some slightly used socks to. Although, if I had $1,000,000 and I could buy socks and wear a new pair every day, then I probably wouldn't. Or, if I really wanted a new pair of socks every day, I could probably go to the store and buy them in bulk and wear a new pair every day, 365 days a year. Maybe 6 pairs of socks per package. Wow. When I break it down that way, really, if my goal is obtaining a new pair of socks to wear every day, it's pretty doable. What else in our life is pretty doable when we break it down into stages and we decide that it's something that we really, really want? And why do we decide to want the things that we want? I think I like the feeling of new socks because they are usually bright white, really nice and fluffy, and they express unlimited potential. When you put on a new pair of socks, anything is possible. There's no residual memories coming from anything. There's no, remember when I wore these socks, or remember when, I don't even know what. There's just so much potential in a new pair of socks. There's potential in just about anything that we could possibly want. The reason that people don't tend to get what they want is they don't think, just like wearing a new pair of socks every day, they don't think that they deserve it. Somehow that tape or that conditioning is, wow, having a new pair of socks every day would just be greedy. It would be unnecessary. Look around your house. Look around your office. How much unnecessary is surrounding you right now in this moment? How much unnecessary is surrounding you every day? So I guess it's really not a matter of necessity or not. I try to have good answers when my kids ask me questions. And sometimes they'll ask me a question, Mom, can I get a whatever it is, fill in the blank, that normally costs money? I'm really trying to find the right balance in helping to coach them into the next version of themselves, the next older version with a certain value and respect for money. My knee-jerk programming that I've heard it all my life. You see it on television, you hear it from other people. When somebody says, Mom, can I have, or, oh, can I have this? Even when you ask yourself that question in your mind, oh, I would sure love this. If you're anything like me, immediately things start coming to mind. No, I can't do that. I shouldn't spend the money on that. Not really a good idea. When my kids ask me that question, instead of knee-jerking to, no, I don't have enough money, or no, I can't afford it, that would never ever come out of my mouth. Instead, my response is, sure, you can have that. Are you willing to do some work to earn the money to get it? So I was looking at that pattern and I was wondering if that's the most effective thing, because I would like my kids to know that when you ask for something, if it's something that you really want, you should be able to get it. And it shouldn't necessarily cost you anything. So even in my response, which I certainly avoid, can't afford, don't have enough money, I would never say that, because that's just setting up a system of perpetual limitation, living in lack. So instead, I would say, sure, what are you willing to do to get it or earn it? Which I suppose is slightly more positive. What if every time you said, I want this or can I get this? What if every single time the answer was yes? Well, now we get to another aspect of human nature, which is as soon as the universe is saying yes to everything, you certainly become a whole lot more selective. Can I have a random obscure object that I don't really need anyway, but right now in the moment because we're a commercially driven society and I saw an advertisement, I want it? Yes. Well, maybe that's really not the thing that I wanted. Maybe what I want instead is to allocate the money that I would have spent on that certain item and put it over here. I wonder if that would happen. The other thought that I have when it comes to money, and I can use my kids as an example because this is one place where this comes up and I ponder this behavior. So if the question comes up, Mom, can I have this? And my response is really, yeah, I don't think we need it, and I'm not going to give you that standard line about, sure, you can have it, what do you want to do to get it? What if instead I took that moment to say, well, that's an interesting question. Sure, you can in theory have anything that you want. In this particular situation, this item, I just can't really justify in my head wanting it enough to put the money into it. That certainly carries a whole lot of different energy than, no, I can't afford it. I don't want to spend the money on it. Instead, it comes down to a decision. Everything in life is a decision, whether it's financial, opportunity, happiness, you name it. Everything comes down to a decision. And I think most of the time, the biggest limitation that we have is not money. I think it's that decision-making process, and we default to a place where that decision-making process was taken out of our hands. Who took it out of our hands? We did. Somehow, by empowering something outside of ourselves and not giving ourselves permission just to say yes, we limit everything. So here's my challenge. I'll do it if you'll do it. Or I'll do it anyway, and you can do it if you want, but hey, I'm going to be having way more fun. What if, for a 24-hour period, you said yes to everything? If you had a thought that you wanted something, what if you say yes? And then if you take the steps to get closer to that? What if every time somebody came in contact with you, and they asked you for something or to help them get something, or even if your kids asked you to pay for something, what if every time you said yes? I would bet in a 24-hour period in my life, if I said yes to everybody, even more than I already do, I would get a few looks and oh reallys, and then maybe we would go through with it and maybe we wouldn't. I wonder, if you said yes, would you get more than just a couple interesting looks? What would happen? Something to ponder. And I will be starting my exercise in the theory of the new socks and just saying yes to everything starting tomorrow. By the way, if you were to look in my sock drawer today, I have approximately 30 new pairs of socks. Do I need 30 new pairs of socks? No. Do I need a whole lot of other stuff that I'm glancing around and seeing in my office? No. But does putting on a fresh pair of brand new socks in the morning do something to my spirit and my being and my happiness and my emotional state? You bet it does. Is that worth a new pair of socks? Obviously, I think so. So what in your life is like your new pair of socks? And will you join me for 24 hours? And if you can't make 24 hours, that's fine. Practice. Try it for an hour. or 2 hours. But will you try that with me? Saying yes to everything. And instead of giving any gut reaction answers when you're asked a question, what if you pause and then you say yes? And then you contemplate in your mind and you work out the way that you could make it happen. What do you think will happen? I have a theory. I think your universe will expand and possibilities will come out of the woodwork. So let's practice for a short period of time. And when we check back in, I'm thinking that we'll probably take it to the next level. And when I ask if you'd be willing to do it for a week, you'd say yes. And a month, you'd say yes. Maybe even the rest of your life. Just like socks. Until next time, when you're enjoying heavy breathing after midnight, also think about fuzzy, soft, comfortable, brand new pairs of socks.